Now look at this question. A host with IP address 10.100.100.100 wants to use loopback testing. What is source IP and destination IP? I told you that loopback testing is nothing but we want to see whether our all the networking layers are working or not, and we want to see whether our MAC, the 10IC card is working or not. For that reason, we are going to use a dedicated, one IP address is dedicated, not just IP address, entire class 127 has been dedicated for that use. Therefore, the source IP address has to be, when you want to test the loopback testing, source IP has to be the same address, which means 10.100.100.100. And what about destination IP? Destination IP can be anything, which means you can have 127 dot anything other than all zeros and all ones. So other than all zeros and all ones, which means 0.0.0.0 and 255.255.255, other than all zeros and all ones, you can have anything after 127. So this could be a destination IP address. And to know more about it, please refer to that video where I discussed about 127. There I detailedly discussed about what are all the various applications of 127. How many bits are allocated for network ID and host ID in 23.192.157.234? Now what is 23? It is clearly class A, and class A has 8 bits of network ID. One more thing, whether it is classful or classless, that depends on slash number. If a slash number would have been given, that means that it is classless, and there whatever slash is given, that is a network ID. But since slash number is not given, assume that it is classful. So in classful, 23 is nothing but class A. Therefore network ID is 8 bits and host ID is 24 bits. Now look at this. What is not true about subnetting? Which means if you look at this subnetting, the concept, what is it? What are the various points about it? It is applied for single network. Yes, subnetting is nothing but dividing a big network, one single network, into many small networks. Therefore it is applicable for single network. It is used to improve security. Yes, I told you that it is used to improve security. How? So if you have 4 networks, if you divide a big network into 4 small networks and put a router in place, then you can have something called as access control list, which means you can control who can access your network by placing the access control list on the router. Therefore it can be used to improve security also. And bits are borrowed from network portion. So bits are borrowed means if you have network ID and host ID, what happens? See, let us say this is the network ID and this is the host ID. What happens to this network ID and host ID? In case of subnetting, the network ID becomes like this. The host ID part becomes smaller, therefore the resulting networks will become smaller. Therefore in case of this, it is going to move this way. Okay, so in case of subnetting, you can observe that the network ID boundary moves this way, or the overall network ID increases and the host ID part decreases. Therefore we are borrowing bits from host ID part and giving them to network ID part. From host ID part, some of the bits will be added to network ID as a result of subnetting. You can check all the examples that I solved. Therefore bits are borrowed from network portion, that is wrong. Bits are borrowed from host portion and they are given to network portion, this is right. Therefore it is wrong, right? Okay.